That's right, ladies and gentlemen, the knockout punch. In my dreams, the pharmaceutical industry has us so much indebted to them and has pulled the wool over our eyes so much that it is a remarkable thing. And, you know, we need to keep this in perspective. I'm not against drugs, for goodness sake. Drugs will save your life when they're indicated. I can prescribe drugs. I'm a licensed physician. I've been doing this for 23 years. Clinically, I've been licensed for almost 21 years now. And, you know, prescription medications will save your life when they're indicated, but they're also the leading cause of death in the United States. The leading cause of death in the United States. And they are delivered by an organization, a group of physicians, a medical profession that has monopolized the medical theater. MDs don't own medicine. Medicine is like dogs, right? There's lots of different types of dogs, and MDs are just one type. But for the last 100 years, they have controlled the medical theater and monopolized the medical theater so much that most of us automatically equate medicine with MDs. And in our minds, we hold naturopathic physicians and homeopathic physicians and chiropractic physicians and osteopathic physicians and Ayurvedic medical practitioners, etc., as alternative back-of-the-bus, second-class citizens, right? I mean, that's how we hold those professions. We've been completely brainwashed into believing that the MDs are king. For goodness sake, I wrote a whole book about this. It's called The MD Emperor Has No Clothes. The MD Emperor Has No Clothes. And for my listeners, if you want to purchase this book, go to my website, fireyourmdnow.com, fireyourmdnow.com. Click on the book, click on the Buy It Now link, and then when you go to the checkout box, the little coupon box will pop up. Type in my last name, Glidden. That's my last name, all lowercase, Glidden, and you get $5 off the book. We're having this special for the entire month of April, $5 off of my blockbuster expose. And what the MD Emperor Has No Clothes. $5 off. Just type in Glidden, all lowercase, into the coupon box when it pops up. The stuff that you think you're aware of, or that you are aware of, having to do with, medicine and the influence of pharmaceutical companies on healthcare, it's the tip of the iceberg, ladies and gentlemen. If you knew what I know about what goes on behind the scenes, you would run away from anybody with a white coat and a stethoscope. You would never, ever darken their doors unless you were bleeding to death or had some traumatic injury, which they're good at fixing when, however, according to Harvard University, 51% of emergency room trauma doctors are addicted to street drugs, prescription drugs, or alcohol, and that's Harvard University that said that. So the type of medicine that MDs are good at, trauma and emergency room medicine, more or less, 51% of the time the doctor that is treating you is addicted to street drugs, prescription drugs, or alcohol. The odds are not in our favor. They're not, even for the stuff that these guys are good at. And the purpose and the intention of this radio show is to help you swallow the blue pill and pop yourself out of the matrix. Because what you don't know about health and medicine and the medical industry in the United States and alternative medicine will heal you or will kill you. 780-something thousand people, closer to 790,000 people last year. 790,000 people were killed by MD-directed treatments. Only 550,000 were killed by cancer, for goodness sake. This means your MD is more dangerous than cancer. There, I said it out loud. And it's the truth. We need to call a spade a spade. Our health is on the line. And what am I going to talk about today in this first segment? Current events. We talk about current events. 1 out of 88 children in the United States are born autistic. 1 out of 88. You've got to be kidding me. The United States of America. And why is this happening? It's the same reason that arthritis is going through the roof, that high blood pressure is going through the roof, that birth defects are on the rise, that we've lost the war on cancer, that we've lost the war on heart disease. Just as many people are dying from heart conditions now as they were 100 years ago, and that's even after 25 years of statin drugs, fat-free diets, and exercise. According to the United States Department of Health and Human Services, this generation is going to be the shortest-lived generation in the United States in a millennium. It's crazy. Our health is going down, down, down. We're getting sicker and sicker and sicker, and Alzheimer's is skyrocketing. Autism is skyrocketing now, 1 out of 88. The MDs, when they're little pea brains, looking at the world through this reductionistic lens that they have been trained to look through exclusively, completely miss the point. It is impossible for an MD to help you recover from a chronic disease. It is impossible. They cannot do it because they have completely missed the medical nutrition piece. They're not trained in it. They don't see it. They have no respect for it. They have no appreciation for it. They don't know what they're doing. But let me tell you how autism pans out from our perspective. There's been a 65% increase in the last 40 years in grain consumption in the United States. A 65% increase. The average teenager consumes 6 bowls of cereal a day. 6 bowls of cereal a day. Now, you might think, oh, Dr. Glidden, that's a good thing. They're getting fiber and they're getting whole grains and all that good stuff, right? No, wrong. Bad dog, no biscuit. I am here to tell you that whole grains are one of the worst foods anybody can eat. And the whole grains of today, the stuff that I'm talking about, is the gluten-containing foods and oatmeal. That's wheat, barley, rye, oats, and oatmeal. These grains contain proteins which are almost impossible for your stomach acid to digest. And when your stomach acid cannot properly digest a protein, it screws up your small intestine. Your small intestine is the organ that your body uses to absorb nutrients into your system. So when you gum up the works in your small intestine by eating whole grains for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you interrupt and impede your body's ability to absorb nutrition. Now, the food that you're eating doesn't have enough nutrition to keep you healthy in the first place. It just doesn't. And I'll talk about that in the next segment. So the food that you're eating is nutrient poor, and then you impede your body's ability to absorb what little nutrition there is in the food by eating those whole wheat sandwiches and those whole grain cereals. You gum up the works of your small intestinal tract every time you eat a whole grain and oatmeal. Imagine that. Oatmeal for breakfast, one of the worst things you can do for your body. Whole grain pancakes will kill you. Whole wheat bread, bad. Pasta, bad. Cookies, crackers, pie crust, bad, bad, bad. And that's all that we eat in this country. That's all that we eat. For goodness sake, I just got back from Orlando, where there was the annual longevity convention. It was fantastic. I'm going to talk about a little bit about that today, too. But, you know, I'm traveling. I'm in these airports. We got a couple-hour layover. I'm waiting for the flights. I'm looking around. There's nothing for me to eat. There's nothing in the Starbucks case. It's all wheat, barley, rye, and oats. Well, they've got a little banana there for $3.75. I'm not foolish enough to buy that. I love bananas, but I ain't paying $3.75 for a banana. You go over to Chipotle, they've got the tortillas. Well, I guess I could have had the burrito bowl, really, and that's what I did get. That's the only thing I was able to get. Rice and beans and some chicken and some sour cream and some avocado. But it took me a while. You know, they've got Sbarros there. It's all wheat all the time. Pasta, pizzas, everywhere all the time. Hamburgers on buns. I guess I could have gotten the McDonald's hamburger, taken the bun off. But, you know, they cook those hamburgers well done. And well-done red meat contains heterocyclic amines, which are hazardous to your health. The French fries contain acrylamide, which are hazardous to your health. The baked potato skins contain heterocyclic amines, which are hazardous to your health. The only thing really I could find at McDonald's to eat is the butter. You know, the butter and the sour cream. I guess I didn't read the label on the sour cream because it probably had nitrates in it, although maybe not. Well, my point is, it's impossible. Everything that you are surrounded with, the majority of the foods that you are surrounded with in your day-to-day life are detrimental to your health. And when you eat those foods, they nip away at your health. It's like the straws that broke the camel's back. And when it comes to whole grains, they screw up your body's ability to absorb what little nutrition there is in the food. So you've got all these teenage girls, and then they're in their 20s, in their early 30s, and they've been eating whole grains their entire lives. This generation of kids has been beholden to the whole grain myth longer than any other generation. And because they have been so focused on whole grains for 2 decades now, their nutritional status is running on empty. So when these kids get pregnant, if they're lucky enough to get pregnant, this is also why there are so many miscarriages now from our point of view, because the body doesn't have the nutritional ability, the body doesn't have the integral health that it needs to get pregnant in the first place, to maintain a healthy pregnancy. And if you're lucky enough to do that, as the child is developing in your womb, he or she, the fetus, is extremely undernutrified. And the developmental processes which happen every week, every day, every second of every day, something else develops, a nerve here, a brain cell there, an eye cell there, a bone cell there. All of this development that's happening over a 9-month period demands adequate nutrition. And when the mother doesn't have adequate nutrition, guess what? The kid's born autistic, or there's a birth defect. This is a problem. It is 100% nutritionally driven, and your knucklehead MD is going to spend trillions of dollars of your money looking for some bad gene, looking for the genetic solution, and it's nonsense. MDs are like colorblind art critics. They are completely blind to everything having to do with medical nutrition, and our health is suffering because of it. Fire your MD now, ladies and gentlemen. I'm pulling off the gloves today. Stick with us. Give us a call. I'd love to talk to you. The call-in number for this show, 866-582-9933. Folks, when you come to think of it, we're supposed to be an educated society. We're supposed to be the smartest people in the world. We're supposed to be the most together country in the world. But really, in terms of medicine, we're no better now than we were in the days of George Washington when they were into bloodletting, right? That's how George Washington was killed, for goodness sake. They bled him to death because that was the thing to do at the time. Well, the thing to do now is give drugs and surgery all of the time. All of the time. All of the research goes to drugs and surgery. Drugs and surgery are the only thing ever delivered, and the medical doctor can cut somebody's arms and legs off who goes in for a simple pregnancy, as happened in Miami, Florida 6 weeks ago, and nothing happens to them. They can do whatever they want to you, more or less, with virtual impunity. And we're putting up with it, and we need to stop it. Medical doctors might be the nicest people in the world, but they're only trained in one particular piece of the medical pie. The problem that I have with these guys is their hubris and their arrogance. I've had hundreds of people over the last 20 years who have gone to MDs. They have all these horrible conditions. They come to see me. The condition's gone. They go back to the MD. They do the follow-up blood work, the follow-up X-ray, the follow-up CT scan. Son of a gun, the condition's gone. Have I gotten one phone call from these guys? No. Because your medical doctor doesn't care. Your medical doctor is more concerned with keeping his piece of the pie. Your medical doctor is more concerned with the status quo than they are about forwarding the cause of medical knowledge and eliminating human suffering. It is unbelievable to me how much we genuflect at their altar. Quite frankly, we need to snap out of it. Now, here's a person who wants to snap out of it. Patricia from Texas has a question about colitis. Thanks for calling, Patricia. How can I help?
I want to know, I understand that we do need to have a gluten-free diet. What else?
Well, gluten, if you go to fireyourmdnow.com, on the home page there's a little link. It's called Against the Grain. And if you click on that, it'll show you a little 16-minute video that I put together which explains why Wheat, barley, rye, and oats, gluten, and oatmeal are bad for you. So one of the things we need to do in order to help our bodies maintain their health is we need to stop eating the foods that are bad for us, right? I mean, if you won the lottery and went out and bought a brand new Mercedes, a brand new Lamborghini, for goodness sake, and you put diesel fuel in the engine, that car is going to run like crap if it runs at all, because it needs unleaded fuel. You put the wrong fuel in the tank, the car is going to underperform if it performs at all. Well, it's the same with the human body. We need to stop eating food that's hurting us. And, ironically, paradoxically, most of the foods that we eat most of the time here in the United States are bad for us. I got a clue for you, folks. Salt is good. Butter is good. Fat is good. Fat doesn't make people fat. Rare meat is good. Eggs are good. Cholesterol is good. And guess what? Wheat, barley, rye, and oats and olive oil are bad. So we need to do two things. We need to stop eating the food that's gumming up the works by going gluten and oat free. And number two, we need to provide the body with all of the raw materials that it needs to fix itself. Now, in the case of colitis, we give minerals and vitamins and nutritional supplements which support and promote the health of the digestive tract. If you broke a bone, we'd give you vitamins and minerals and nutritional supplements that provided the raw materials that your bones need to stay healthy. But when it comes to your gut, here's what I recommend to optimize gut health. One healthy digestion pack, it's called a healthy digestion pack, one healthy digestion pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month. One bottle of liquid plant minerals per 100 pounds of body weight per month, and one bottle of Maquis Plus, M-A-Q-U-I Plus, M-A-Q-U-I Plus per 100 pounds of body weight per month. If you do those three things, the Healthy Start Pack, the liquid plant minerals, and the Maquis Plus, one each per 100 pounds of body weight per month, plus the gluten-free, oil-free, oatmeal-free diet, you are going to start to feel better every 2 weeks. And that, by the way, is what drives my entire profession forward. It is results. And I believe it was Benjamin Franklin who said, the height of foolishness is to discard an opportunity without full investigation. One more time. The height of foolishness is to discard an opportunity without full investigation. And this became glaringly apparent to me last week when I was in Orlando, Florida, at the Youngevity Annual Convention. It was just a fantastic event, and in the last year, Youngevity, in partnering up with a couple of other companies, has become number one publicly traded. You can buy stock now in Youngevity. And number two, it has teamed up with a business powerhouse networked company called FDI. And when you marry FDI, the coffee company was called Java Fit, and Youngevity, the sky's the limit, folks. Because here's what we have. We have Dr. Wallach on the one hand, who is the most researched, the most experienced holistic physician in the world, driving the ship of Youngevity forward. And Youngevity exists. Dr. Wallach set Youngevity up to eliminate human suffering. The thing that drives Youngevity forward, the inspiration for Youngevity and the engine that drives Youngevity forward is to end human suffering. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. People suffer for lack of knowledge. The medical community in the United States has been monopolized by the MDs. They can only help us so much. As a matter of fact, they're hurting us. Dr. Wallach figured out, after 12 years of $25 million of federally funded research, 26,000 autopsies, 10 million blood chemistries, and then 30-plus years of clinical work, Dr. Wallach figured out how to help you have healthier bones and joints, healthier hearts, healthier skin, healthier kidneys, healthier gallbladders, healthier brains and central nervous systems. We know how to help optimize your blood pressure and your blood sugar and your bones and your joints. It's easy. We've got it dialed right in. Now, Dr. Wallach's sitting on this gold mine of information. And yet the front door of medicine is completely closed to him because of the pharmaceutical power. So what's he going to do? Is he going to sell his stuff on the home shopping network like Andrew Lessing? No. Is he going to develop a line of direct-to-physician only expensive vitamins and nutraceuticals to sell to MDs? Hell no. Is he going to set up his vitamins and mineral supplements and sell them retail at GNC and health food stores? No. He set up his company, Longevity, to pay you to help him spread his message of health recovery through medical nutrition. We are building a grassroots coalition of the informed to help spread Dr. Wallach's message of health recovery through medical nutrition as far and as wide and as quickly as possible. And now that we have teamed up with FDI, we're going to do it. Because the people that were members of FDI are business first, business in the middle, and business last. The FDI members know how to spread the word. They know how to build networks. They know how to show people opportunities in a way this is a soft sell, folks. For goodness sakes, we're not even selling anything. All we're doing here is showing you what we're up to, holding it up, saying, hey, take a look at this. This is pretty cool, isn't it? And when you examine what we do and compare it to other network companies like Herbalife or like Amway or like USANA, it doesn't even compare. Our compensation plan, our products, what it takes to become a member of this company, $10, by the way, is a $10 buy-in. That's a get your feet wet buy-in. If you really want to get serious about making money in this company, it's a $400 buy-in, but $112 of that is products, so really it's a $288 one-time buy-in. And do you have to order products every month? No. Do you have to load your garage with stuff? No. You're only required to purchase stuff when it profits you to purchase stuff. And who is your customer? Everybody. Why? Because everybody's sick. Why is everybody sick? Because everybody goes to MDs. Why does everybody go to MDs? Because the MDs have monopolized the marketplace. MD medicine is the only medicine your insurance pays for. It's the only medicine practiced in your hospital. It's the only medicine they make commercials about. It's the only medicine they make movie shows about. It's the only medicine that George Clooney pitches. You have been brainwashed into genuflecting at the altar of MD-directed medicine for the last 100 years. And their medicine, the only medicine that we really have access to, full and complete access to, doesn't work. It doesn't work for chronic disease. That's why we're sick. That's why the leading cause of bankruptcy in the United States is medical bills, because it doesn't work. That's why we're losing the middle class, because employers can't afford to pay a living wage and health care. Why? Because health care is so expensive. Why is health care so expensive? Because it doesn't work. For goodness sake, the average type 2 diabetic treated for 30 years, which is about the industry standard, will profit the medical industry $400,000. Why would they give up a $400,000 cash cow by curing type 2 diabetes? Why would they do that? Well, guess what? They wouldn't. Because medicine is a for-profit industry here. And there's nothing wrong with making a profit. But when you marry a monopoly with a for-profit industry, the only people who are going to win are the people at the top. So what do? We show you Dr. Wallach's health recovery methods, and we show them to you for free. You don't have to join us. You don't have to become a member. You don't have to help spread our message of health recovery through medical nutrition. You can go to fireyourmdnow.com right now and purchase Dr. Wallach's health recovery protocols. No doctor's visit, no copay, no consultation charge. It's free. The information is free. And better yet, if you want to, come aboard for $10. Get your feet wet. See if this business is for you. Because we need you. We need your help. We're suffering needlessly for lack of knowledge. We need as many employees as we possibly can, but you're not technically an employee. And if you've ever tried to run your own business, Do you know how expensive it is to hire an employee? Do you know how much paperwork you have to do to have just one employee? There's all this withholding stuff and all of this self-employment insurance and all of these ridiculous forms that you have to basically hire somebody, hire an accountant just to manage your employees, even if you've only got one. Well, with this business, you're going to have hundreds and thousands of people working for you, but they're not your employees. They're underneath you in the network. They're independent marketing directors. They're independent distributors. And the more money they make, the more people, the more lives they change, the more people they drag into the light of medical nutrition, the more you get paid. It's exactly the opposite of corporate America. Your employer's job is to pay you as little as possible because they need to increase their profits by decreasing their bottom line. Especially if it's a corporation. For goodness sake, the owner of the corporation is beholden to the shareholders, not the employees. So it is your boss's job to pay you as little as possible. And there's a glass ceiling in every job that you will never break through. There's no ceiling with this type of a business. There is no ceiling with a longevity business. The ceiling is limited, defined by you and your actions. And in order to make this business successful, it has to be simple and easy to do. I met a 16-year-old girl in Utah who's making $1,000 a month. She's 16 years old. If she can do it, you think you can do it? Yes. Do you have to be a doctor? No. Do you have to even know how to read or write? No. All you have to know is how to be coached. You have to be coachable. You have to be willing to learn. And in 27 minutes, because I timed this, it would take me 27 minutes to show you how to be successful in this business. It will take me 27 minutes to show you how to be successful in a longevity business. And all it takes on your behalf is a $10 one-time fee. Now, eventually, once you see the brilliance of this, and once you start to make money, and once you start to help change lives in your church, in your community, once you start to see the testimonials that you have generated, you are all in. And when you upgrade to the $399 level, which really is a $288 level because you get $112 worth of product, when you upgrade, your money doubles. From a pure business, dollars and cents, MBA point of view, this business structure is a no-brainer. And if you want to lump all network marketing companies together, go right ahead, but you're making a big mistake. Because network marketing companies, again, are like dogs. A lot of different types of dogs. They're all different for different things, and there's a great deal of difference between a Chihuahua and a Great Dane. Take a look at what we have to offer before you say no. I know that you just automatically think it's some type of pyramid scheme, even though you don't even really know what a pyramid scheme is. And really, you don't know that pyramid schemes are illegal, but you don't also know that when you think about pyramid schemes, it's your boss that has that type of business. Your boss is getting paid massive amount of money on the work that you do for him, and he pays you very little for. You've got it backwards. You've got it backwards when it comes to medicine and healthcare. You've got it backwards when it comes to money and jobs and the payout structure. Look, knowledge is power. Swallow the blue pill. Snap out of the matrix. Take a look at what we have to offer, and as God is my witness, you will never look back. You will never look back, especially now. Can you imagine? Amway is a multi-billion-dollar company. It is the largest networked business in the world. Can you imagine getting in on the ground floor of Amway 30 or 40 years ago, whenever they started? Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that opportunity? Can you imagine being one of the guys that funded Bill Gates when he was working in the garage? Can you imagine being one of the first people to buy stock in Apple computers? Can you imagine that? Can you imagine if you were one of the guys on Bill Gates' first team? Can you imagine that? Can you imagine where you would be right now? Well, my position is that same opportunity exists right now with longevity. It exists right now with longevity. This is a 17-year-old startup company. And in the world of network marketing, that never happens. Well, guess what? It's happening now. Please go to fireyourmdnow.com. Take a look at the video I have there on the home page, and then sign up with us for $10. I personally will hold your hand and walk you through tried and true and proven methods to drag people into the light of medical nutrition, increase your income, increase their health. Everybody sleeps better at night. Everybody's wealthy. Everybody's healthy. And that's how we're going to change the world. You know, war is peace. Constant surveillance is liberty. What's next, right? The 1% who make all the money don't pay any taxes, and 99% that don't make all the money, pay all the taxes. It's upside down, it's inside out, it's backwards. The medical system that's in place doesn't heal us, it hurts us. What are we going to do? I mean, wait for the asteroid to hit and then we're all going to fend for ourselves? Well, that's one solution. You know, this is 2012, after all, but I have another solution. Why don't we stop all this nonsense, band together? And you don't have to, I'm not a pacifist by any way, shape, or form. I'm not advocating violence either, but I'm saying take a stand. Put your foot down. Take a stand. Take a stand for your health. Fire your MD. Cancel your comprehensive insurance. Buy catastrophic insurance in case some knucklehead drunk driver, God forbid, hits you when you're driving home. You know, you need some type of insurance because the medical industry is so outrageously expensive. For goodness sake, it's like $4,000, $5,000, $10,000 a day just to stay in the damn hospital. It's crazy. So you got to take precautions, but you don't need to go to see these people. As a matter of fact, you're kind of a knucklehead if you do. Why would anybody spend hard-earned money every month in medical insurance premiums, which gives them access to a system of medicine that doesn't work? Why would anybody do that? Because they haven't thought it through. And because they don't know that alternative, science-based, clinically verified alternatives exist. Guess who doesn't want you to know that science-based, clinically verified alternatives exist? Your MD. I'm a licensed naturopathic physician. In Seattle, in the state of Washington, and 15 other states in the United States, I can prescribe drugs, deliver babies, perform minor surgery, work in hospitals, legally call myself a physician, order any diagnostic test I want. In most of those states, it's all covered by insurance. If I was to do exactly the same thing in Chicago that I did in Seattle, or exactly the same thing in Miami or Atlanta or Houston that I did in Seattle, or Denver that I did in Seattle, I'd be thrown in jail and fined thousands of dollars for practicing medicine without a license. You've got to be kidding me. The MDs don't want you to know about me. The MDs don't want you to know about anything holistic. They poo-poo everything holistic all of the time, and we buy it hook, line, and sinker, not because we're stupid, not because we're gullible, but because we're too busy going to work. We're too busy with our lives. We've got bills to pay, mortgages to pay, kids to put through college. We have to deal with raising kids, taking care of our lives, and we trust that the people in charge of our health at that shining hospital on the hill know what's best for us, but they don't. Your trust has been betrayed, either on purpose or, not. Either way, it's no good for you, because your MD has only been trained in drugs and surgery, and drugs and surgery will fail you most of the time. We need to pick ourselves up by our bootstraps, take action on our own behalf, join the cause, ladies and gentlemen. There's two ways you can work with us. You can just go to the website and order the supplements. I recommend 1 healthy start pack and 1 bottle of liquid plant minerals and 1 bottle of selenium per 100 pounds of body weight per month. That's 1 healthy start pack, 1 bottle of liquid plant minerals, and 1 bottle of selenium per 100 pounds of body weight per month. Also, follow my advice. Good food, bad food. You can download it for free on the front page of my website, Fire Your MD Now. So follow that dietary advice. Eliminate all of those bad foods from your diet. Get a healthy start pack. Get a bottle of liquid plant minerals. And get a bottle of selenium. And take it just for a month. And see for yourself what good health feels like. Because you don't know what you're missing. Because God is my witness, you don't know what you're missing. And when it comes to your health, what you don't know will heal you or help you or kill you. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Dr. Peter Glidden. This is Fire Your MD Now. I'll see you tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel.